They're not coming, not invading. They're already here, watching, moving in ways we can't explain or even see. Across time, pilots, law enforcement, even governments have documented encounters with something intelligent. But nothing stays, nothing lands, and nothing fits what we know of reality. What if we're looking in the wrong direction? What if these aren't just ships from other stars, but glitches, distortions, visitors from a different layer of reality? In a simulated universe, the impossible may just be unauthorized access. Robert Bigelow, the former owner of Skinwalker Ranch and founder of Bigelow Aerospace, once said that extraterrestrials are already here and are right in front of our noses. He wasn't speaking metaphorically. He was describing something that could be hidden not just from the eyes, but from the mind. Before the modern UFO age, ancient cultures spoke of beings from the stars, powerful entities called the Elohim. The word appears in early religious texts like the Torah. It's often translated as God, but in Hebrew, it's plural, gods. Some researchers believe the Elohim were not divine beings, but early extraterrestrial visitors, perhaps the first architects to alter our reality. Descriptions of the Elohim often speak of beings descending from the heavens in fiery chariots, shaping humanity, or communicating telepathically. These accounts resemble modern reports, not just spiritually, but technologically. Could they have come from outside our known universe, or from within a deeper framework of this one? Their fingerprints may still exist today, not in orbit, but in scripture, in monuments, and perhaps in our very DNA. 1957, Levelland, Texas. A cold night under a wide, empty sky. The roads are quiet, until they aren't. Over the course of just a few hours, more than a dozen motorists encounter something strange. Engines sputter and die. Headlights flicker out. Radios erupt in static. Then they look up. A glowing egg-shaped object hovers silently over the road. It's brilliant, blue-white light, radiating heat, but making no sound. When it moves, it does so without acceleration, just sudden, perfect shifts, like dragging an icon on a screen. After it passes, cars restart. Lights come back, as if reality unpaused itself. The witnesses weren't fringe believers or thrill seekers. They were police officers, truckers, ranchers, families on late-night drives, solid, grounded Texans. Their stories, collected over a chaotic night, align with stunning consistency. Some describe the object landing briefly on the road before taking off again in complete silence. Several incidents were reported within minutes of each other in surrounding areas, forming a pattern that suggested intelligence, not coincidence. Sheriff Weir Clem himself responded to the scene and filed a report. Local authorities reached out to the U.S. Air Force. Project Blue Book sent an investigator. But the official explanation, ball lightning or electrical disturbance, didn't sit right with the locals. Not when people watch their trucks go dark and float silently to a stop beneath a blinding craft. Whatever it was, it disrupted the environment around it, not just electrically, but psychologically. The shock on the faces of the witnesses said more than any transcript ever could. Because it wasn't just a strange light in the sky, it was a direct interaction, a moment where the rules bent, where the simulation hesitated, like someone hit pause on the program itself. (1967), Nova Scotia, Canada. Just before midnight on October 4th, residents of the small fishing village of Shag Harbor witnessed a glowing, orange object streak across the sky before crashing into the icy Atlantic waters. Some described it as a low-flying object trailing sparks. Others thought it was a plane going down. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police were alerted immediately. Officers and civilian witnesses watched as the object floated briefly before submerging. Yellow foam was seen on the surface, evidence that something had entered the water. Believing it could be an aircraft, the Canadian Navy launched a full search and rescue operation. For days, military divers combed the ocean floor. They found nothing, no wreckage, no bodies, no oil slick, no signs that anything physical had entered the water at all. To this day, the Canadian government classifies it as a UFO incident. Not a meteor, not a weather balloon. A genuine unidentified flying object. How does something crash into the ocean in front of so many and vanish without a trace? One possibility, it didn't crash at all. It transitioned through dimensions, through systems. 2007 Alderney, UK. Pilot Ray Bowyer, flying a routine passenger flight from Southampton to Alderney, suddenly spots something unimaginable. A glowing cigar-shaped object hanging motionless in the clear afternoon sky. He estimates it to be several miles wide, far larger than any known aircraft. It's radiant, almost metallic, yet emitting a golden haze that distorts the air around it. At first, he thinks it's a mirage, but the object doesn't waver. It sits suspended in space, completely still, an eerie defiance of both gravity and logic. Bowyer radios into air traffic control. Then another pilot, flying a separate aircraft nearby, confirms the sighting from a different angle. Both men describe the same thing. Passengers on Bowyer's flight see it too, but no one panics. They watch silently, almost entranced, as if part of them understands they're witnessing something they shouldn't be able to. Air traffic control picks up a faint radar signature, but nothing matching the size or shape described. No transponder, no flight plan, no response. Nothing is intercepted, nothing is pursued, because in the physical sense, maybe nothing was ever really there. Bowyer would later call it not from around here, but the truth is, it might not be from anywhere in our three-dimensional space at all. Like the others, this object appeared briefly, inexplicably, then faded as if it had never existed. 3 encounters, spanning 50 years, and yet eerily similar. Massive, silent, unexplainable, breaking rules without making noise. Just one repeating pattern, reality bent. In 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics confirmed something mind-bending. Our universe is non-local. Particles affect each other instantly across distance. Reality behaves like information, not matter. We may not be living in a universe. We may be existing in a simulation. Philosopher Nick Bostrom says it's statistically likely that we are existing in a simulation. Eric Pepin, founder of the Higher Balance Institute, teaches that this reality is layered, coded, and guided by intelligences outside of our perception, and that the only thing that's real in this dimension is consciousness. And what if they know how to manipulate it? These aren't magic tricks. This is advanced tech interfacing with the very structure of our perceived world. Imagine if their systems could alter the way our brains render reality. What we see or don't see. They could stand in front of us, walk among us, and we'd never know, because our perception has been edited, not just visually, but cognitively. You might see something, and 5 seconds later, forget. Physicist James Sylvester Gates found error-correcting codes inside the equations that define the fabric of our universe, like a computer program, self-healing, monitored. These codes act as safeguards, rules, protocols. What if these beings know how to exploit those codes? What if they can bypass the safeguards of reality itself? Slip through the cracks, or worse, rewrite them. They aren't breaking the laws of physics, they're using a different set of them, ones we haven't been given access to. But what if not all of them are from inside the system? Some researchers believe advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, far older than ours, have developed AI and quantum computers capable of simulating and probing entire realities. Like scientists in a lab, they may be running experiments on us. Think of the theory proposed in The Three-Body Problem. Civilizations sending self-replicating machines across the cosmos. Machines that build, observe, report. Machines that never age, never sleep, and never leave. It's possible what we call UFOs are just scouts. Autonomous programs testing the limits of this world, pushing against the simulation's boundaries to see how we respond. These might not be spacecraft in the way we understand them. They could be reality editors, code checkers, dimensional routers. Their presence might not be to communicate, but to monitor and refine. We are not dealing with one phenomenon, but a spectrum of contact, some from within, some from beyond. Sightings are real, so are the craft, but maybe they aren't from far away. Maybe they exist one layer above us, within the code. They could be architects, observers, or rogue entities poking through the seams of the system. Each sighting, each glitch, each impossible movement may not be an accident, but a test. They're already here. The question isn't where they came from, it's why we were never meant to see them.